Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I wanted to make this video testing out something I haven't really been able to find much info on. I figured maybe some of you have been interested in learning about this as well. I'm not a computer expert, but I have a degree in cybersecurity and I work on computers as a hobby. So just take the rest of this video with a grain of salt. What I want to do is encrypt my computer's main hard drive with BitLocker. So first I should probably explain what BitLocker is and why you'd want to use it. And I'll also explain what you'll need in order to do this. Later I'll explain what my concerns are. So what you're going to need is a Pro edition of Windows and a removable flash drive. BitLocker is a program that comes standard on Windows Pro operating systems that allows you to add password protection to your drives. Normally, people use BitLocker on removable drives, but again, I want to encrypt my main hard drive. If you don't have a Pro edition of Windows, there are third-party programs that do essentially the same thing. But if you're the kind of person who feels like they need to add password protection to your drives, then you're probably the same person that doesn't trust third-party software. So BitLocker is the reason why when I built my computer, I went with Windows 10 Pro. Otherwise, there's really not much difference between Pro and Home. You might say, when I log into my computer, it asks me for my Windows passcode, so why would I even need to encrypt my hard drive? And the reason for that is if somebody were to steal your computer, they could remove the hard drive, install it on another computer as a secondary drive, and have access to all the data stored on that drive. This situation is even more problematic if you have a Windows laptop. If you lose that laptop, your data's out there. Your passcode only logs you into Windows. It doesn't mean your entire hard drive or any of the data stored on it is encrypted. So in this computer I built, you can see both of my drives here. This is just a removable USB drive that you're going to need in order to do this process. So you can see my main drive here, this WD Black SN750, and then my secondary drive, which is a WD Black AN1500, but it only shows up as local disk because it's locked. By the way, both of these drives are amazing. In case anybody's interested, especially the SN750, but they're also both very expensive. So the problem I see with adding BitLocker to my main drive, which is really the reason I held off on doing this for so long, is my main drive contains all of my program files as well as my Windows operating software. So there's two possible outcomes here. Number one, everything works just fine and my computer continues to operate as normal even though the drive containing the program files is locked. Or number two, after activating BitLocker, it sends my computer into a coma and I won't be able to access anything. If it doesn't work, I'm going to have to buy another drive, install a clean version of Windows, and probably reconfigure some BIOS settings. And only then will I be able to unlock this drive. All that seems really time consuming and expensive. So for me, since I have two drives, I don't necessarily need to do this because I don't keep any personal data on my main drive. It's only for my program files and my OS. But again, I'm just doing this as an experiment and for education essentially. In the event you have a pre-built PC that only comes with one hard drive, or you have a laptop that you want to secure. So now the way you activate BitLocker is you open your File Explorer, you locate the drive that you want to encrypt, and most likely it'll be your C drive. You right click on it and click Turn on BitLocker. And you can see right now we've already run into our first obstacle. Just a little disclaimer here, I have figured out how to do this. I just haven't figured out if it's going to be safe. So let's just cancel out of this. You have to open your run box by typing Windows R. And then you type in exactly what's on the screen here, gpedit.msc. So that stands for Group Policy Editor. Click OK. That brings up your local group policy editor. So let's make this screen just a little bit bigger so you can see it. And I'll also drag this center column out just a little. Now you want to click on Administrative Templates, Windows Components, and here you see BitLocker Drive Encryption, and then Operating System Drives. That'll bring up your Operating System Drives folder. Now you'll want to click on Require Additional Authentication at Startup, and you can see there are two here. So make sure you click on the correct one. It's just this top one. So double click. It'll bring up this screen here. So by default, you can see it's set to not configured, which kind of gives me hope that this will work. So we want to click on Enable and Apply. All of this information here might seem a little scary, but basically all it's saying is what you can do is set a BitLocker password as normal, or you can use a removable USB drive. So we'll just click on OK to get rid of that. Okay, so we can close out of this. It should be pointed out here that I did not have to go through this process to encrypt my second drive, because that was not my main drive where my Windows operating system files are stored. So it kind of seems like Windows knows what I'm trying to do here. Whether that's a warning or not, I'm not real sure. But it seems like if doing this would completely kill your computer, Microsoft wouldn't even give you the option. Let's try this again. Right click on the drive you want to encrypt, and then click on Turn on BitLocker. Good. So now choose how to unlock your drive at startup. We're going to enter password. I'll put my password in there twice. Click Next. This is where that USB drive comes into play. So you have to select something here. So I'm going to click Save to a File, and then I'll select where I want to save it to. So it'll be this USB removable drive. And then we can click Next. So we want to click on Encrypt Entire Drive. This might take a little bit of time, but it's the most secure. And we want to click on New Encryption Mode, and this is especially good for internal drives, and then Start Encrypting. And this might take a little bit of time depending on how large the drive is and how much stuff is already on it. Okay, this is a new screen, so it's asking for my BitLocker password. So let's see how it goes. Hey, we're in. Look at that. We managed to get back into the computer. And the way you can confirm this worked is now when you look at this drive, it's got a little lock icon next to it that shows unlocked. Gold is locked. Silver is unlocked. So it worked. If you guys want to do this on your own computer, give it a shot.